Have you ever thought about changing your name but felt totally overwhelmed by the legal process in California? Well, you are definitely not alone. This explainer is going to guide you step by step through everything you need to know, even if you're starting entirely from scratch. Whether you're dealing with mismatched documents or just stepping into a brand new chapter of your life, the legal bureaucracy can feel like a complete maze. But don't worry, we are going to break it all down for you today. By the end of this, you are going to have a clear, highly actionable path forward. No more guessing, just a straightforward guide to getting it done and holding those freshly updated IDs in your hand. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll cover 1. Understanding the basics, 2. The step-by-step process, 3. After court approval, 4. Considerations and challenges, 5. Real-life examples, and finally 6. Helpful resources. Let's kick things off with Section 1, Understanding the Basics. Why and what? So why do people actually go through this process? Well, there are a bunch of common reasons Californians seek a name change. Maybe you're applying for a real ID and suddenly realize, hey, my DMV record doesn't match my social security card. Or perhaps you're taking the incredible step of aligning your legal name with your gender identity. A lot of folks change it for deeply personal, cultural, or professional reasons too. And of course, reverting to a former name after a divorce is super common. Whatever your specific reason is, a court order is often the legally required key to unlock those changes across all the different government agencies. Let's get right into the nitty-gritty with Section 2, Step-by-Step Process, Your Legal Journey. Your chronological path really breaks down into just 4 manageable steps. First up, filing your petition at the Superior Court in the county where you currently live. Second, paying those required filing fees. Third, publishing a public notice in a local paper. And finally, attending your hearing, if you need one, to get that judge-signed decree. Let's zoom in on these a bit. You're going to start by filling out Form NC-100, which is the Petition for Change of Name. You will check the boxes for why you need the change, and here's a major pro tip. It is absolutely crucial that you use your exact current legal name, as it appears on your documents. You're also going to need to prove you actually live in the county where you're filing, usually with a government ID and something like a utility bill or a lease agreement. Now let's talk about the cost. Standard civil filing fees in California range between $435 and $450. I know, it's a chunk of change, but the courts do want this process to be accessible. If you're low income, on public benefits, or just can't afford the fee while meeting your basic needs, you can absolutely file a fee waiver request using Form FW001. Just keep in mind that waiver only covers the court fees, not the separate newspaper publication costs we're about to discuss. So once you file your petition, the court hands you back Form NC-120, the order to show cause. This has your current name, your proposed new name, and your hearing date. Under California law, you have to publish this form in a newspaper once a week for 4 consecutive weeks before your hearing date. Why? Well, it basically gives the public, like creditors, a legal chance to raise any objections. But watch out, because here is a major trap people fall into. You cannot just pick any random local paper. Using what's called an adjudicated newspaper is absolutely mandatory. That just means the newspaper is officially approved by the court to run legal notices for your specific county. If you use a non-adjudicated paper, the court will flat out reject your proof of publication. You'd literally have to start those 4 weeks all over again, and that is a massive delay. Moving right along to Section 3, After Court Approval. Updating documents. Armed with your certified court decree, you've got to be proactive. You will need to submit Form VS-23 to California Vital Records to amend your birth certificate, which costs about $26 to $31. You'll also need a trip to the DMV for a replacement driver's license, usually around $37. And you'll want to contact the Department of State for your passport. Just be prepared to wait a bit, especially with Vital Records, because amending a birth certificate can take a solid 3 to 6 months to process. Oh, and don't forget to notify your banks, employers, and doctors. Now for Section 4, Considerations and Challenges. Avoiding delays. Let's look at some strict bureaucratic rules that can trip you up. When dealing with California Vital Records, you have to use black ink. Only black ink. Absolutely no whiteout or crossouts are allowed on your forms. Seriously, if you make a mistake, you must start completely over. Plus, if you need an authorized certified copy, your sworn statement has to be notarized. Also, there are strict extra notification requirements if you happen to be incarcerated or on parole. You literally have to formally notify your warden, sheriff, or regional parole administrator using specific attachments, like Form NC-110. Let's ground all this legal jargon with Section 5, Real-Life Examples, Scenarios in Action. Let's compare 2 different paths. Scenario 1 is someone trying to untangle a nightmare, where their social security card says one thing, but their passport says another, which totally blocks them from getting a real ID. They need a standard court order to bridge that gap. Now compare that to Scenario 2, someone using the court to align their legal identity with their true gender identity. For these cases, the state actually provides specialized forms, like the NC-200 or NC-300. The great thing here is that they can sometimes bypass that whole newspaper publication requirement entirely to protect privacy and safety. And then we have Scenario 3, the hospital typo. Imagine your parents missed a misspelled middle name on your original birth certificate. Getting that simple hospital error fixed early using forms like the VS-24 will save you from massive headaches later on when you're suddenly trying to deal with federal agencies, enroll in school, or grab a passport. Almost there. Section 6, Helpful Resources, Tools for Success. You don't have to navigate this labyrinth alone. The California Court Self-Help website is fantastic for step-by-step form instructions. If you need a sworn statement notarized fast, services like the Notary Lab offer 24/7 mobile notarizations that actually come directly to you. And for that tricky newspaper publication step in LA County, using an experienced adjudicated publisher like the Santa Monica Daily Press will make the process so much smoother. Also, never be afraid to just ask your county superior court clerk's office about their specific local rules. Please note, while this explainer aims to offer comprehensive guidance on the process of legally changing your name in California, it should not substitute legal advice. Every individual situation is unique, so for personalized advice, definitely consider consulting with a qualified legal professional. Thank you so much for joining me today. From filling out that very first NC-100 to publishing in the paper and finally updating your IDs, you now have the map. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. What is the very first step you will take today toward claiming your true legal identity? I hope you leave this explainer feeling empowered and ready to confidently conquer the California name change process. Until next time, keep learning.